Hey guys, this is Yoda. This video will be a VOD review of a recent dungeon I did, 24 Ruby Lightfuls on Fortified, Spiteful, Grievous. Let it play. We're going to start off by shrouding the first guy. Primal Juggernaut's really annoying for a lot of tanks, especially Venus Demon Hunter. We'll get into I think it's a 3 or 4 pack pull. There's 3 Earthshapers and 2 Chillweavers. In this pull, you want to prioritize stopping the Earthshaper's Tectonic Slam and the Chillweaver's Ice Shield. Ice Bolt usually is fine for the first pull because most tanks can deal with it. This guy actually goes off in the back because no one's watching it. It's kind of weird. But yeah, stop Ice Shield and Tectonic Slam, and usually you can let Ice Bolt go off in the first pull. After the first pull, you kind of want to be stopping it with Kidney, but for now it's fine. If you want a boon here, you should wait for a few of these Stone Missiles to go out, then boon, so you get one, it should be late in your boon, and you can just cloak it and call it a day. If you have to cloak early in your boon, then you might have to be ready to Shadow Step later. You notice that it is Spiteful, so I'm pretty much just playing Crippling Poison. I opted completely out of the Poison talent, and I'm playing Crippling Poison full time, and as a result I have Gouge. You'll also notice that I usually play Shadow Focus here, but I'm playing Shadow Blades. That's because we have a Destro Warlock, so I'm pretty confident that our group is going to have good damage on the second boss, especially on the ads. So I opted for just most output possible, which is Shadow Blades. For the later pulls in here, you're going to want to put some kind of effort into stopping the Ice Bolt. There should be less of these Chillweavers too. You still want to prioritize Ice Shield, but you can stop Ice Bolts the later pulls when there's less casters and your tank is less. I'm just going to fast forward here since all the mobs pretty much do the same thing. One thing you want to watch out for is once you get about this deep into the hallway, you want to be panning your camera to check the patrol sometimes. I think I'll do it here. Surely. Okay, so you want to watch out for this patrol. I think in this run, the patrol ended up, so like if I distracted, we might not have made this window. So I decided not to distract. Just let him walk and wait just a little bit. It is something to keep in mind, like while you're fighting the pack we just fought, you want to be watching for this patrol to see, like if you're skipping the patrol, you want to watch for it to maybe distract him like in a good place, so your group doesn't have to wait. That is going to be a big time save. For this mini boss, it's pretty simple for the DPS. He just does Steel Barrage, which is a tank, and spawns some swirlies directly after he does Blazing Rush. Most of the time, or I found that a lot of the time, your boon is actually up on this guy. So if you want to use it, you should wait for after the Blazing Rush, like I did. You'll notice that you still might have to cloak some of the Steel Barrage swirlies or Shadow Step them, but I didn't have to here. But you want to do it right after Blazing Rush, you're booning. The rest of these mobs are pretty simple or the same. We actually do a back pull here. You want to pull these out so you don't actually get the Juggernaut if you do this. I don't know why we're doing a 3-mob pull, but it's not my route. Okay, after those, we fight the boss. This boss is pretty simple. Hail Bomb, you want to drop like somewhat neatly stacked. This is pretty bad, to be honest. You want to drop those pretty neatly stacked. For Chill Storm, you walk out, and then as soon as you see that drop off, you Shadow Step back in. You want to feint towards the end of this. Almost all of the damage comes from the very last tick, Chill Storm. So feinting early is not going to do much for you. You want to feint late. Even if you feint only the last hit, that's still better than feinting. So that's pretty much it. Stack up for Hail Bomb. If you get Chill Storm run out, then Shadow Step in and feint at the end. Then there's the intermission. So you'll notice during this intermission, I'm going to cloak during this one, and during the next one, I'll have Vanish with the talent Cloaked in Shadows. Basically, just always want to make sure you have something for every intermission. On these ads, usually I'm going to want to give my tank at least two black powders with tricks for threat. And then after that, you can either black powder or eviscerate, depending on what you're feeling. Eviscerate is for more boss damage, obviously, and breaking the shield faster. Whereas black powder will kill the whelps faster. If you think your tank might die to the whelps, you black powder. If you want to do more overall, you black powder. And if you want to play for speed, and if you think your healer might not be able to handle the shield, then you eviscerate. This run, we have a Destro Warlock who's actually really good funnel. Quote unquote funnel. So I chose to eviscerate here after two black powders for threat. The rest of the boss is pretty much the same. You'll notice on the next intermission, I do have Vanish up, and I use Vanish for Cloaked in Shadows shield here, which instantly gets broken, which is pretty crazy. And I also actually have him commit Hellstone, I think Health Pot later, and maybe even Cheat. Let's see. Yeah, I commit Cheat, quote unquote commit. Yeah, I don't end up health. Oh, I do Health Pot, so literally everything in the book. So it's a good thing I had my Vanish Cloaked in Shadow for that. Okay, then we finish off the boss. Pretty simple. After we go up, we're actually doing a really crazy route, the Zero Dragon route, which involves like walking and sneaking around like crazy. So the first thing we do is we go right, since we're skipping the Thunder Dragon. On these pulls, you want to take note if there's multiple Cinderweavers. So it basically completely changes the dynamic of the pull if there's one Cinderweaver or two. So there's one, you can just rotate kicks, right? Everyone just kick off cooldown, or everyone just kick and you should be fine. But if there's two, you won't be able to do that. You need to assign like two people to each Cinderweaver, and then their interrupt by itself is not going to be enough to cover all of the cast from that Cinderweaver. So if as a rogue, it's going to look like your kick, then your friend's kick, then your kidney, then your kick again, then their kick, and then cheap shot, and hopefully it's dead by then. But yeah, you need to just pay special attention if there's two Cinderweavers. Like now that there's one Cinderweaver, it's super easy, right? I don't need to kidney or anything. I'm just going to send my kick whenever, call it a day. Obviously, if you're like tryharding or in comms, you could do some kind of kick rotation. But in a pug, honestly, just like I just kick if it's past half, and usually it's fine. If you notice everyone's kick is down, you can kidney on single caster packs, but you shouldn't have to. Anyway, we do happen to have a Vengeance Demon Hunter with an Evoker. This is like crazy combo. He Oppressive Roars, and the Vengeance Demon Hunter silences for like over 10 seconds, which is insane. On these pulls, by the way, the Blazebound Destroyer, you're going to want to feint when he does Inferno, just to make things easier for your healer. If it's like a low key, or if it's not Fortified Grievous and you're confident in your healer, you don't have to feint, but generally you're going to be wanting to feint those. Here we do a skip on this dragon after finishing off fights. This gateway is crazy. Warlocks are so broken. We don't actually need it because the Fire Dragon flew away, but you can just gateway through the tree for some reason. This pull is pretty much the same as the last one. We're just setting up one interrupt. Make sure you position yourself relatively centrally if you're going to boon, which I'm not booning here, but still position yourself centrally. Yeah, don't actually feint this Inferno. Look how much damage it does to me. That's crazy. Yeah, this pull's pretty much the same as the last one. Generally, this is not like a rogue tip, but as a tank, you're going to want to pull these up the stairs a bit more, especially if you're dodging the dragons. But pulling them up the stairs is a good idea because when they die, they drop a giant circle, you'll notice. That makes it a lot easier to run out if they're on the edge. So yeah, not much else to this pack. We kill it. Notice the circle is really easy to dodge because he dragged it up. We finish off the Spiteful, and then we just proceed. No Fire Dragon in sight. Okay, this pull, I mean, this dungeon is honestly, a lot of the pulls are exactly the same, right? A bunch of little Scorchlings that do nothing. One Flame Dancer and one Cinderweaver. Stop Flame Dance, kick Cinderweaver, feint Inferno. You get Living Bomb, consider using your Vanish Shield, or Cloak, or Feint if you haven't fainted already, that kind of thing. Just watch yourself if you have Living Bomb. It's mostly pulls. Wait, how did I die? Oh, I think I just didn't make it out of Burnout. Yeah, that's weird. Alright, I'm not gonna talk about that. Walk out of Burnout. Yep, good mechanic. Okay, this pull, you'll notice this only has one caster, so it's kind of chill. Generally on pulls like this, you're gonna want to rely on your team's CCs. Because like your healer is probably not really wanting to use his like tail swipe or typhoon or whatever they have on the pulls with the Inferno guys on them, but this pull is really chill for healers, so you can let them do the interrupts on this one. Or the stops, I guess. And then when there's a Blazebound Inferno there, you cover it, basically. Because this pull is like super chill for healers, right? Like our health bar's not moving. And we finished that off. Then I think we had to watch for the Thunder Dragon here. Yeah, his pat, he flies like over the path, so we're gonna probably pull this up the stairs here. Note that this is a double caster pack, so if we didn't have Vengeance and Evoker carrying us on interrupts, it would go like my interrupt into an ally's interrupt into Kidney. Actually has a blind. I think that was a bolt. Bolt. Yeah, he dodged the bolt. So yeah, on double caster packs, it's super important that you pay really close attention. Like even with our insane comp with the rogue, we still lose a boomy there to a kick going off. But we do have Vengeance, so it just goes like interrupt into oppressive reverse silence into interrupt again. They're already almost dead. We'll have second interrupts up. After second interrupts, I think I throw a Kidney, but it might be dead already. Yeah, I did Kidney. You can see like the go back. Yeah, this one I kidneyed because my interrupt wasn't up yet, and then after I'm gonna kick. Yeah, double caster packs, you want to pay super close attention to making sure as few of these Cinderbolts go off as possible. In a high key, like one Cinderbolt is just a death. So yeah, pay super close attention to these, especially as the rogue. You have a lot of agency here. Okay, after that monstrous pack, we're done. Then we sneak. Look at our pathing here. It's actually crazy. I didn't even know you could walk this way until this key. We walk all the way around the Thunder Dragon. I actually can't make this jump because I like a OP class or something, or maybe I can, I don't know. Yeah, we end up just waiting for the dragon to leave because we have time anyway. Then we pull the second boss. So on this boss, if there's both dragons up, you can't go too far to either way, right? So we're like very, very specific with our ad placement and our boulder aiming. Basically, especially if you're cramped on space, notice how the boulder's up in one. I'm not going straight to the ad. I'm going to wait to drop the boulder, then go to the ad. This boss, by the way, is super annoying for sub-rogue as a DPS because you can't really min-max your Finality Rupture. I've just been like following the basic rule. If you have Finality Rupture on the boss, don't rupture the ad and override it. If you don't, then you can send it on. That's basically my rule on this boss days. Okay, we're dropping the ad here. Notice I wait a bit, or I should wait. Yeah, I waited, drop boulder this way, go to the ad. I think it lines up almost every time that right after the ad spawns, he spawns a boulder. Okay, that's pretty much basic. We lose Drac here. Oh, the kick went off. Oh my goodness. Okay, so yeah, you're gonna want an interrupt order on that. Usually we just do me first or tank first, and the other one second, range third. But we missed it there and went off somehow. Not good. Here we bait the boulder, bait it on me again, and then go to the ad. By the way, especially on high keys, you're gonna want to be fainting every single one of these Infernos. Here I actually starved myself on energy, didn't have energy in time, and I fainted late. Not ideal. But yeah, you want to be fainting this Inferno, especially on high key. Use your cloak to protect your boon. If you don't have boon and you're blessed like that, then you can just cloak if you think you're scared. Your healer's behind or something. Okay, so we finish off the ads, kill the boss, move on. This pull. This pull is actually crazy. Especially for working to be doing in a 24 with that character. Yeah, this pull, you're going to want to be just dotting as you run in. Try to stay away from these Stormwater as much as possible. This Thunderclap actually adds a lot of extra damage when the Lightning Storm is happening, and it slows your haste. Now, haste is not that important, but you don't want to be taking extra damage here. No, I didn't cloak here. Yeah, so this pull is insane. Usually you're just going to do half of this, and you can just stay to one side of the Tempest Channeler to avoid the Thunderclaps. I should do it soon here. You notice, like, he's casting Lightning Storm. The Stormwater is all here, and I'm positioning my character ideally away from them so I don't eat the Thunderclap during Lightning Storm. Rookie actually running around like crazy. Cool. Actually rooted here. I think no, I don't cloak. I cloaked earlier. Yeah, just try to stay away, especially during Lightning Storm, try to stay away from Thunderclap. That's the most important thing in these pulls. There's a Flame Channeler too. It requires 2 melee interrupts or 1 Death Knight. This Thunderbolt, usually on this one, the Thunderbolt is kind of doesn't matter. Just it doesn't really do that much damage. We get here and we walk around. One thing to note, hold on, I'm gonna pause the video at a certain. Yeah, if you happen to be pulling this pack first and not going around, then going to kick this Thunder Channeler here actually has a pretty high chance of ninja pulling the big pack. So what you want to do is you'd tag it as the tank and have a ranged first kick this Thunder Caller, and then assign the melee to the Flame Channeler. We just circumvent that by going around. So on this mini boss, there's two important mechanics. One is Shock Blast, which is for some reason an insanely fast kick. Make sure you kick it. Second mechanic is Lightning Storm. I guess there's three. And the third one, also notice during this Lightning Storm, I'm staying away from the Thunderclaps. Possible. Okay, the third one is he summons a bunch of these Thunderclouds. Then when he's casting Primal Storm Shield, at the end of this, he will basically eat their shields, and that shield is a shield that breaks a single target. So you want to always have AoE damage when he's summoning them, and then before the cast goes off, try to have as much damage to the shields done as possible. After that, you need to break the shield, or it's a wipe. He's summoning them, try to do as much AoE damage as possible. And after that, we should be doing single target, trying to break the shield. If you're a Blood Elf like me, you can also Arcane Torrent the shields, or if you have a Priest, they can mass Dispel. Hers are also really good. But yeah, it's important to break the shields on those Thunderclouds to make the boss or the mini boss shield as small as possible. You'll notice Dorky's purging one every time. Why? Okay, so that's this guy. After that, this pull is pretty simple since there's nothing ninja pull. Stay away from Thunderclap, kick Flash Fire, don't die to Lightning Storm. Okay, so on to this boss, the last boss of the dungeon. So the wins on this boss are actually scripted. So there's a way to make phase 1 completely scripted. So the first step is you don't go into the boss. You bait the boss here. Do not Shadow Strike the boss. Just wait for him to come here. That way the dragon's very first jump will be near this area. You want to be fighting in this area. I think we don't have marks down for some reason. Usually we would put marks down, but you want to drop the first fire over here, like where this purple gate is. That side. Should be doing that soon. Yeah, I actually can't believe we didn't do marks, but everyone in this group pretty much knows like exactly where to go. Okay, now we put marks down. So you want to drop the first one at square because the first wind blows this way, right? It doesn't blow any fire. The second wind is going to blow this way. It's counterclockwise. The second wind is going to blow towards square, so you drop your fire here. Square. Also, you want to keep staying in this area. You don't want to go past square. If you go past square, the dragon might not jump, like right here. If he jumps to the side, it becomes very, very awkward with the angle, and you're going to not be able to do as much good damage to him. Okay, so the next wind, the wind blew that way. The next wind is counterclockwise, right? The next wind is going to blow towards the bridge. So we want to drop the fire basically anywhere over this line. The fire will blow away from us, but not too far so that the dragon jumps out. Even like just dropping on square or triangle is fine too. I think he just opts to go to triangle here. Yeah, that's fine. That fire is going to get blown away towards the bridge. So it doesn't really matter where you drop it as long as it's not like in the middle of everyone. Second fire. Okay, so he does doing Flame Breath. Flies away at 51%. Note that the boss phases at 50, right? So he gets one more spit. We know this one, the next wind is blowing this way towards triangle. First wind is towards square, second wind is toward bridge, third is toward triangle, right? So he goes toward the triangle. Drops off the fire, and the boss is phasing. So since we know where the first three was, the next wind is blowing off the balcony. So for that fourth wind, if you phase the boss like at that timing, you're gonna want to drop fire like right here at the edge of the balcony. Also, make sure you don't get meleeed here. It can get really awkward. I saved my Vanish Shield and Hellstone Health Pot just for this fire. I think I'm cloaking the next one, so we drop it off at the edge of the balcony. So the wind always blows the same way, right? No matter what phase the boss is in. So the next one we know is blowing this way, towards square. So I say, oh, drop it at square. I think I cloak. Yeah, I just cloak so I don't have to deal with it, but we have a range dropping it off at square here. The next wind should blow it off this way. Then if we got another one, you would drop it here. You're gonna see me put down another square. Yeah, you would drop it here so it blows away from the boss again. But we don't even get another fire because we phase the boss and that's it. Once you realize that this boss is like wins are like completely scripted, it becomes a lot easier. That's it. You just finish off the boss. Make sure your healer doesn't forget to dispel the tank. Don't randomly stand in fire. Hopefully it's not invisible. That's it. Okay, so that will do it for the VOD review of this Ruby Life Pools. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Don't forget to catch me streaming on Twitch. And see y'all later. Hope everyone enjoys Dragonflight.